Good morning, Southeast Missouri, and wherever you may be listening. This is the Retirement Playbook brought to you by Alspal Wealth Management. We are the retirement people. We're here every Saturday morning giving you some great information to help you and your family get to and through retirement. Yep, that's what we do here, folks. And as always, I'm joined by my co host, Mr. Tony Shore. Good morning, Tony.
Good morning, Brock Allspa. I am excited this morning. Your energy
Woo!
always wakes me
Oh,
up, excites me. Hopefully, it does the same for our listeners out there and our viewers. And our viewers. So I had a great week. Just very busy. I know we've both been very busy, but your schedule makes me look like I'm standing still right now. You've been meeting with clients.
ugh.
You showed me
Cutting
your
cutting cutting
to-do list.
ribbons. Yeah,
Your
yeah.
task list is
Whew.
it unscrolled. It's like the Dead Sea Scrolls. It kept rolling out onto the floor across the room. I'm like, holy shnikes! That's just for today.
Well, listen, we're blessed. It's been good. The rebranding has been a good thing for our business.
Oh yeah,
We're ready to rock and roll. We're helping people left and right. We're cutting ribbons. We did a ribbon cutting this past week for the rebrand. So both the Jackson and Cape Chambers were there to help us celebrate that, which was awesome. Had a good turnout. It's just been awesome, man. It's been a good time, but yes, very, very, very busy, and that's okay. That's okay. It's better than the alternative, Tony, as they
it
say.
is.
Well, listen, folks, we've got a great show lined up for you today. We're going to talk Social Security. It's still the foundation, folks. It's the number one thing you can do to help yourself accomplish your retirement goals is to make sure you maximize those benefits. We're going to talk about how to do that and some other things as it comes to Social Security. But before we get into that, go to our website, folks. It is fully up and running and
It
functional,
is.
ready to go. Alspal Wealth Management, ALSPAUGH, wealthmanagement.com, alspalwealthmanagement.com. You can download past shows and listen to those. Also, you can go to our YouTube page. So if you're listening to this on the radio, folks, please open up your computer, open up your phone, go to YouTube, okay, and type in the search button, Alspal Wealth Management. You'll see our page up there with different videos. I'm actually going to be doing some market updates, some other additional information. We're really excited about our YouTube channel.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny, Tony, because YouTube's been around forever, right? Or it feels like it anyway. And you know, it's one of those things where you just always knew about it. And you know, I think in the past we've had a little bit of a channel to kind of dibble dabble and all that, but now it is on. We are really pumping the YouTube channel with Alspal Wealth Management, getting some great content out there.
With fresh content each
Yeah,
week. And
right.
so and YouTube is kind of taken over where, Google's still the number one search engine, but close behind it is YouTube as a search engine.
Oh,
When
I
you
didn't
want
know
to
that.
find out about how to retire, you go to a lot of people now, especially younger people, but now it's going to be pretty soon everyone. When you want to find out how to do something, you go to youtube.com and you type it in the search engine
That's
and you
true.
find a video on it of somebody explaining it with illustrations. And it's the same way like today, Social Security. If you want to see Brock talk about Social Security and really learn and actually look at the person talking to you, get to know Brock, hey,
Yeah.
maybe I can reach out to Brock and sit down with him, get a consultation, and get a financial plan in place or a retirement plan in place. But I want to point out the Allspa Wealth Management, the full site hadn't been live in a while, but now, just recently, it has gone completely live. The whole thing's there. And I want to point out, Brock, to our listeners, when you first go to the site, a video loads and starts playing. And you
Yeah.
see, an older couple there, but then you see Brock coming in strong. So watch the video of Brock. It's great. I just watched that. It was awesome. And the site is great, Brock. I was cruising through it before the show.
Yeah.
And I know you were preparing for the show, and I was cruising through your site, and I just love the website because there's so many resources on there. And
Yeah.
it looks great. It's easier to use than your last one. I think people will really enjoy that. You can even set up a consultation through your website.
Yeah.
So
We rarely even give the phone number anymore, right? Because
right.
everybody, if you're listening
Yeah.
in the car, if you're watching on TV, if you're, whatever you're doing, it seems like you just go to the website. And so
Yeah.
obviously we still take phone calls. We love it when people call us.
Oh, sure.
But going to a website is a much easier way to contact somebody. Just put in your information and we'll give you a call. But
Yeah.
anyway, I did not know that about YouTube, by the way. That's interesting. You mentioned
Because
Google.
Google bought YouTube,
Right,
and
right,
so
right.
what started it is once the reason you hear more and more about YouTube and it's exploding right now, and more people use it, and you get more views there, is because Google bought YouTube. And
Mhm.
what happened is, you notice when you search something on Google, the YouTube links to
Yep.
YouTube.
Yeah.
The YouTube responses are
That's
first.
not by mistake, folks.
No, that is not by mistake. And in fact, Google is, to our viewers out there and our podcast listeners, Google Podcasts is going away. So
Oh,
Google Podcasts, April 2nd, it's no longer going to be available, or a
gotcha.
live site. They're going to go to YouTube Music. So
Look at that,
YouTube
folks. We
has a
don't just
music
bring
site.
you retirement information. We're bringing you all these technology information.
Well,
This is
I'm
great
just telling
stuff
our
here.
listeners they'll be able to hear the show
Yeah,
on, if
yeah.
you subscribe on Google Podcasts, you'll want to go to YouTube Music and subscribe.
Gotcha.
So, yeah.
Well, listen, folks. So go to that YouTube page. Really, it will help us out. It'll help us get more information out to people
Yeah.
that need it. So subscribe to our channel, like our videos, all that stuff. It's just really appreciate if you could do that for us. All right,
Yeah.
let's
So
get
where are
into.
we starting? Harnessing the power of Social Security, right?
That's the name of the show today. Harnessing the power of Social Security. As I mentioned on the top of the show, Tony, as always, Social Security planning, making sure that you are maximizing your benefits, knowing when and how to elect your Social Security benefits is still the number one thing you can do to help yourself in accomplishing your retirement goals. What's the number one goal? Not running out of money. Maximize your Social Security benefits is the number one way to help yourself there. And the deal, and everybody knows this. You got to get this decision right the first time. I
Yeah.
can't tell you how many times I've talked to clients and prospects that are, just really are upset at themselves because they made that decision, because they said, you know what? I'm retired. I want to, get those paychecks, and I want to make sure that the government doesn't make money on me. And I get all of those feelings, folks, but you've got to make sure that you make the best decision for you and your spouse. And ultimately, we don't know. We don't know how long you're going to live, but there's a lot of things we don't know in life, but we got to make the decision based off fundamentals.
Yeah.
And that's what we're talking about today. The fundamentals of retirement planning are Social Security, and making sure you understand how and when to elect your benefits. There's really only one way to do that, by the way. We're going to give you some information here, but there's only one way to do that, and that is getting a Social Security maximization report. So if you're wondering when and how you should elect your benefits, and let me tell you something, for a married couple, this is not easy. There's over 20,000 different calculations of how to elect your benefits if you're married. If you're not married and you're single, there's some things you can do to help yourself, but it's really important if you're married, or if you were married in the past. So say you're divorced and you qualified for benefits there. There's just a lot of different aspects of this. Talk to a professional. Give us a call at Alspal Wealth Management, 573-332-7855. Or again, that website is alspalwealthmanagement.com.
Yeah.
All right, Tony, did you know here? I'm going to give you some basic stats here on Social Security. Your paycheck is subject, first of all, as you get into the system and you start paying into Social Security. Okay, you start, tallying those marks, those quarters, as soon as you start working. Okay, and when you start working and your paycheck, you see that FICA tax. Okay, that's what this is, and it's currently 12.4% of your salary. You, as an employee, pay 6.2%, and your employer pays another 6.2% in for you to Social Security. Okay, now you pay the tax on money that you make up to a certain amount. There's called a cap every year. That cap has gone up significantly in the last few years. So right now for 2024, the first $168,600 that you earn will be subject to that FICA tax. Now, I realize that not a lot of people will worry about that as far as how much more above that they're making. But the point is if you're making $168,600 or less, that is the amount of money that's subject to that 6.2% tax. So if you make $300,000, anything over $168,600 is not going to be subject to that FICA tax.
For now.
That's for now. Yeah, it's
because
great.
we all know that Social Security, we hear the
Oh,
sky is
yeah.
falling. It's
Right,
not going to be solvent at 2023. We're running out of money for Social
right.
Security, but they're going to do something like change that cap of. I am actually amazed that they only tax 168,000. If for people who make, let's say you're a CEO, you're making 800,000, a million a year, you're only paying that percentage of your income towards Social Security up to that 168,000 right now.
Right.
I'm guessing that they're going to try at least to raise that.
Yeah, I mean, it's been raised over the last few I just remember a few years ago, it was like 128.8 or
Yeah,
something like that. I
it
mean,
was
that was just
128. Now it's
yeah.
168.
Whew,
It's going to go up.
yeah.
I think the next raise though will be exponential,
Do
just
you?
because of
Well, you
That's
heard it
my
here. You heard it here first, folks. Tony Shore is calling for more of your tax dollars
yeah.
to be taxed for
Yeah, it
Social
doesn't
Security.
affect a lot of our listeners, but some of them I know, and so you have to talk about it.
Yeah,
But
for sure.
and I would hate to be. I see those numbers, and what you just said there, Brock, makes me thank God I'm not self-employed like
Well,
you
yeah,
are, own your own business, because
that's right.
uh, I only pay 6.2% of my salary toward my Social
Guess who
Security.
pays
You have to pay
12.4% of their
for
salary?
yeah, you pay 12.4% of your
Yeah.
salary into
You're
Social Security.
self-employed. Yep, exactly. If you're self-employed, you're paying that 6.2% twice for that total of 12.4. Listen, in 2024, for every $1,730 you earn, you receive one credit up to 4 credits per year. So if you make at least $6,920, you will get 4 credits for your Social Security, and it takes 40 of those credits to be eligible for benefits when you retire, Tony. So,
And
10,
hopefully as you earn more and more, those higher earning years have more impact. So the more money you earn, the better at this point, right? For your
that's
Social
exactly right.
Security
And
amount.
that's exactly right, Tony. And you're looking at the highest 35 years of earnings, by the way. So if you're wondering,
Okay.
okay, well, how does that work? It's the highest 35 years. If you don't have 35 years, let's say you've got 30. Well, you've got 5 zeros there, folks. So, maybe it might be worth it to, kind of fill those in and maybe work a few more years and get those 35 highest years. Okay.
Yep.
Now, that's for when you're working. Now you're eligible at age 62 to elect your benefits. We all know that, right?
Yep.
62, you become eligible for Social Security benefits. For many of us, it's going to be 67 is our full retirement age.
Yeah. That's
And
me.
yep, if you were born after 1960, it's going to be 67 years old, folks, is when you're going to be your full retirement age. And then you can defer all the way out to age 70.
Hmm.
Now, kind of like what Tony alluded to earlier, are these things going to change? They have. They have. Full retirement age has gone up from 65 to 66 and 67 now. So what do you think is going to happen? People are living longer, right? And we've got this huge
They're going to
boom.
raise it to 70, I bet.
Who knows, but you may be right for sure. And so obviously, why would you wait? Well, because you get these delayed retirement credits. That's what those are called every year, every month, really, that you defer. In other words, you're eligible at 62 and you don't take it, you get an additional credit. And those credits amount to about 6% at the very beginning, and then they climb up. Okay. And at your full retirement age, you're looking at 8% increases from your full retirement age of 67 currently to that age 70. So that
Yeah.
is a big deal. You get big increases. The power of compounding, Tony, can be a big thing for a lot of people. So when you're looking at, okay, when should I elect my benefits? 62, I get less checks. Yes, you get less checks, but those checks are bigger. And so
So
how
everybody has their own different sweet spot of when they
Oh,
should
for
take it
sure.
based on their personal situation. You got to do the math, and really, there's too much math to do. You said over 20,000 calculations if you want to include spousal benefits and all the spousal filing strategies. So you really, to do this on your own or without that
Oh,
Social Security maximization report is crazy, and they're
I
not
don't
going to
know.
help you. They're not going to help you with this at the
Yeah.
Social Security Administration. And I know you're offering to our listeners to run that report for them if they just come in for a consultation. I think
Yep.
that's fantastic.
Yes, we are. And I don't know what the percentages are, Tony, but someone making these decisions on their own, the percentage of someone getting that right has got to be really low. And not to say that you're not smart if you take it at 62 or whatever. It's just that it is very difficult to make the right decision without the right information. And that's exactly what the Social Security maximization report that we do for folks gives you is the information to make the correct decision. Okay. Now, ultimately, like I said at the beginning too, we don't really know because you could not live to your life expectancy and you would have been better off taking it earlier. Okay. But we can't plan on that. That is not the prudent thing to do. You've got to make sure you stick to these blocking and tackling, the fundamentals of retirement planning. And this falls right into that category. Okay. Okay, we're going to move on here. Benefits are available to spouses, ex-spouses, widows, and widowers. Okay. If you were married and are at least age 62, you may qualify for Social Security benefits via spousal benefits. Tony, going to this, I think a lot of people understand that those spousal benefits do exist. I'm not sure there's a 100% grasp on how they work because it can be, complicated.
Because a lot of people end up not taking advantage of them, right? That
Right.
you've seen come in and they could have been taking advantage of them.
Exactly. If you were married for at least 10 years before getting divorced and you haven't remarried, that's the key. You have not remarried, and benefit based on your own work record is less than what you would get for a spousal benefit, then you may be eligible for that. So a lot of people go, okay, well, I'm going to do the spousal benefit. Well, that's great, and that might be available. But if your benefit is higher on your own record, you're not going to be able to do that. Okay. You used to be able to do that, right? So you used to be able to elect and draw off of a spouse or even a spousal benefit and then click on your own later on. But they've changed the rules. And Tony, I mean, what's right is right. What's wrong is wrong.
Right.
It was probably, the right thing to do,
Yeah.
to be able to collect on a spousal benefit,
Sure.
when yours is higher is, I mean, good for you if you did it and you continue to get those benefits. But anyway, you can see why they maybe made some changes.
Sure.
All
It
right.
was a loophole. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
exactly. Restricted application and some other things that were available until about what, 8 years ago, something like that, 6, 7
Yeah.
years ago, something like that. Anyway,
I think 6 or 7. Yeah.
okay, yeah. Okay. Now the next one though, Tony, is the one that I think probably gets overlooked the most, at least in my experience of working with clients and prospects, is the survivorship benefit.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you may apply for a survivorship benefit. So what happens? What does this mean? Okay. Husband and wife, the husband is benefit is $4,000 a month. The wife's benefit is $3,000 a month. The husband dies. Okay, what happens? Well, it's the higher of the two benefits is what that wife would now get. So what does she get? She gets the $4,000 that he was collecting. Okay, so you can understand and think about this, folks. There is opportunity for planning here. Okay, because if we know that my spouse's benefit's going to be higher, what would we might want to do? Defer that benefit for as long as possible, right? Because then it gets continually higher and higher, and you get those delayed retirement credits, not only for you while you're living, but it's for your spouse too when you're gone. So you understand where I'm going with that, Tony?
Yep.
There's a lot of places or people that go, well, I don't want to do that because I don't know how long I'm going to live. Well, it's not all about you. Okay. It is. I mean, it is. But again, it's the planning for both spouses, not just one when it comes to these survivorship benefits.
Sure.
So yeah, you got to be careful. You got to understand these things and how they work. And then
So
you
if you're
can
divorced, filing on your ex-spouse's benefits, if you're widowed, survivor benefits,
right.
a lot of people get confused about how that works or how important that is and leave money on the table. You've probably seen that happen.
Oh, nope, never seen it. Nope, never seen people do that. Of course I
Right.
have. So,
Yeah.
it's one of those things where, again, I don't know the percentage of people that make this decision on their own and, maybe don't make the best decision. But anyway, in 2024. So let's talk about working now in retirement. Okay,
Okay.
Tony, I get
Yep.
this question a lot. When you're talking about, hey, I'm going to work till I'm 66, but I'm going to go ahead and take my benefit at age 62. So I'm going to take my benefit and I'm going to have a paycheck and I'm going to save that money and, or I'm going to pay down a loan with that extra money. I've heard that a lot too. It's just
Probably not a great idea, right?
it's just probably not a great idea, Tony. It's just
Yeah.
probably not a great idea. In 2024, if you earn more than $22,320, so let's say you're working and you're making, $50,000 a year and you elect your benefits, if you earn more than 22,320, which in this example you would, the government may withhold $1 for every $2 you make over that limit. So if you make $50,000, $27,680. Did that math real quick, didn't I, Tony?
Wow. Impressive. I'm blown away. I'm like getting my calculator out. I had only punched 2 buttons and you gave the answer. I don't know. How you do it.
So in that example, you would be withholding a lot of money there. So
Yeah.
your
Yeah.
benefit is decreased so much, Tony, that it's really not worth it. Now, just to clarify, you will get some of that back when you turn your full retirement age in an increased benefit at that time, but you won't get all of it back. Okay. And so I always tell people, listen, if you're going to work in retirement, don't take your benefit until your full retirement age. Why? Because those rules don't apply. Once you reach full retirement age, that increase goes up to $59,520 in the year that you turn your full retirement age. So if your full retirement age is 66 in 6 months, for example, this year you will be able to make up to $59,520, and that won't affect your Social Security benefits. And then after your full retirement year, Tony, you will be able to make as much as you want, and they won't withhold anything, or it won't affect your Social Security benefits. So again, if you're going to work in retirement, make sure it's less than the 22,320 if you're prior to full retirement age. After full retirement age, you can make as much as you want. Okay, so you can understand why there'd be some planning involved here, Tony, to help you make sure that you don't run into any of these pitfalls and any of this withholding, and it just doesn't make a lot of sense for most people. Okay, now again,
Right.
everybody's situation is different, and that's why you need a customized plan, and you can get these answers through, again, our Social Security maximization report. It will show you all of this stuff. It's not just your benefits; it shows you the negative impact of working in retirement in our report. It shows you the negative impact of taking or getting a government pension offset. So if you're a teacher and you had a benefit and you also qualified for Social Security benefits, it'll show you how that affects that. That's called a windfall elimination provision. So there's a lot of different things and a lot of terms that we'll throw out,
Yep.
to make us seem really smart, but but they are real,
Yeah.
and this is
True.
real stuff. Okay.
Yeah. Well, Brock, we're out of time. It flew by, but so
What?
much about Social Security. If our listeners have questions, which I'm sure they will, all they have to do is go to Allspa Wealth Management. That's Allspa Wealth Management, ALSPAUGH wealthmanagement.com, or call 573-332-7855. Brock, I know you're looking forward to hearing from our listeners, and
Yes.
a great show today.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, again, Social Security continues to be the foundation to a solid income plan. Check us out on our website. We've got more information on Social Security if you want to go there and find that. But otherwise, go to our YouTube page, folks, and subscribe to our channel or give us a call.
All right, that's ElspaWealthManagement.com. And that does it for today's episode of the Retirement Playbook with our host, Brock